คือมืดเถอะวะ sold out โอเคค่อยฮอนso excited about itดูสบายดีฝากกดไลค์กดแชร์ก่อนเด้อใครที่กำลังเข้ามาเบิ่งโอเคมื้อนี้คอยได้เชิญศาสตราจารย์ว่าฝรั่งจากประเทศซิลีนะมาเว้าอังกฤษขอนอนนำกันเกี่ยวกับหัวข้อการเลิกนิสัยแบบเก่าๆนิสัยที่บ่ดีของเฮาและก็วิธีการเพิ่มเพิ่มพูนแล้วว่าเอานิสัยดีๆเข้ามาใหม่ในวิธีการเปลี่ยนจากนิสัยที่บ่ดีแล้วเอาแบบเปลี่ยนแปลงตัวเองไปเฮ็ดในสิ่งที่แบบนิสัยดีโอเค come on Claudio okay I gonna shoot and that's you okay you are coming right now just come okay be connected
Wow. Hello.
Hello, Sabaidi.
Yeah, somebody. Hola, hola. Hola.
Hola, hola.
Hola from Thailand.
Hola from Chile.
Oh, yes.
It's
That's very
South
good.
America.
Yes.
How are you today?
I'm very well. And how about you?
I'm okay. I'm fine too. It's a beautiful day.
Look,
We are in
wait,
40 here.
wait. I think something is a change. Something is like a look like different from you, like your hair.
Oh yeah, I put my
All right. You look good now. You look good. You look good.
my hair is different now. You know, this is quarantine hair because it's
Uh-huh.
long. Actually, I haven't taken in the back. And this beard is quarantine beard because
Yes.
here we are in quarantine for months. So
Mm-hmm.
I just grew my beard and my hair.
Mm-hmm. Very good. You look like a Hollywood actor like this.
How do you say cup top?
Yes. Or yesterday when I play Facebook and I saw a news from my page, I just sent you like the cheapest country that you have to travel or visit to live. The wonderful country is your country, Chile. Wow.
Yeah,
Very
I
good.
was surprised. I was among the 12 cheapest
Mm-hmm.
countries to live. Yeah.
Mm. I really
Well,
want to
here
visit your country.
some things are cheaper, like, for example, food, agricultural food, like vegetables and fruits are very cheap. And
Mm.
a large number of that, I mean, large variety of fruits, and they are cheap.
Very good.
Housing is cheaper than other places too. Uh, but of course, Chileans do not think that this country is cheap. They think this country is very expensive.
And this you read a news there's in USA at California there's the wildfire. Did you see the
Yeah,
news?
yeah. There are fires, almost every year there are fires. Sometimes are larger and more dangerous because
Very
the
very bad.
heat, you know, the heat. So all the herbs on the hills got dry, so easy to
Yes.
burn.
Maybe the grasses is very dry and is very the weather is still very hot. Is the kind of it can burn like it kind of fire.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. And also when they have some trees burn faster than others. For
Mm.
example, pine trees, they have like oil, in the
Mm.
leaves. So it burns very fast and quick.
I
Uh,
think in 2020 this year is very brought here for human being. Very bad for us.
yeah, that's right. Many things.
Yes, many
Also,
problems.
you know, flooding in some countries too, you know, the rivers are flooded. Well, here in this country, we have earthquakes.
Or earthquake.
Earthquakes, yeah. And we have one in the north recently, but nothing happened, even though it was strong. So we have to build houses in a very strong manner because we know that earthquakes here in Chile are very strong, like in Japan.
Okay. The first, I really want to translate to my online guests because my friends they are watching us right now. I mean, some people
Sure.
didn't understand what they are talking about. And after I finish translate, we will go to our main topic. Yes, we're gonna talk today. Okay. สบายดีหมู่เพื่อนทุกคนจากฝั่งลาวแล้วก็ฝั่งไทยเนาะมื้อนี้ถือว่าเป็นโอกาสดีอีกครั้งเนาะที่ไอ้จัวได้เชิญอาจารย์หรือว่าศาสตราจารย์ด้านจิตวิทยาจากประเทศชิลีเนาะทวีปอเมริกาใต้มาอบรมเบานำเกี่ยวกับหัวแบบเรื่องนิสัยก็ห้องคือนิสัยที่มันบูดีแล้วก็เขาก็มาเพิ่มนิสัยแบบพัฒนาเจ้าของหรือเอานิสัยใหม่ๆเข้าไปเนาะผู้ใดยังฮู้ยังก็คอมเมนต์ถามหรือว่าแชร์ประสบการณ์ได้ภาษาลาวพิมพ์ภาษาลาวก็ได้ภาษาไทยก็ดีแล้วก็อังกฤษก็ดีเนาะแบบมาถามมาแลกเปลี่ยนแล้วก็ยังฮู้ยังเกี่ยวกับภาษาอังกฤษก็คอมเมนต์ถามกันได้เนาะแล้วก็อย่าลืมกดไลค์กดแชร์ให้จั่วและอาจารย์เนาะเพราะว่าเวลาอยู่ประเทศเพิ่นหันอยู่ชิลีตอนนี้มัน what time is there right now
It's 10:15 in the morning, 10 a.m.
ตอนนี้อยู่in Chile ที่อเมริกาใต้10 โมงเนาะbut in Asia is right now is 8 p.m.
8 p.m. So 10 hours difference. Yes,
10 hours.
I am at the other side of the world. So almost the opposite side. So when you are in a day, I am at night. When you are evening, I am at morning. Okay. But we are connected anyways.
Absolutely. We can connect by internet and English language. It's the most powerful language.
Yeah. English is the most common language spoken as a second language in the world.
I just recommend you you said how to change our new habit to put a new you told me how to install new habits. Do you have any idea?
Yes, let's talk about habits.
Okay, habit.
First, let's define habit. You know, what is a habit? What is the role?
Okay, you have to give the meaning first about the habit.
Say again, what is it?
You have to explain a little bit about the meaning of habits, what it means, because and it is very important for our human life.
Okay, perfect. You know, when we talk about habits, we usually think about behavior. You know, we have the habit to go and eat in the same place. We have the habit to sit in the same place in the table. You know, habits, behavior. But habits are also thinking habits. You know, one tend to think in the same way, to analyze in the same way all the time. And we also have, believe it or not, emotional habits. We tend to feel in the same way. So habits is part of the structure of the mind. The mind is a structure in habits. So we tend to do the same thing over and over again. Okay? Why? Because this saves energy. You don't have to be deciding every time, where do I sit this time, you know, or how I'm going to dress, or, you know, where's the light, you know, when you enter into a room and you don't turn on the light. So by habit, you do it automatically. So you save energy, but the same for the way of thinking. So you tend to think in the same way. So habits save energy. So the mind is composed, structured by habits. Okay? So this is good and also could be bad. You know,
Absolutely.
because
Yes.
if it's good, it saves energy because you learn, and you learn in a proper way. You have a habit of doing well. You know,
Yes.
you have the habit to study every day. Okay, so it's not a problem for you because it's a habit. The mind is a structure, and you sit and study every day, or you exercise every day, or you like to think or meditate every day. Makes things easier. What is the negative side of a habit? There are two. Well, first, some habits are not that healthy.
Yeah, absolutely, like native.
Yeah, for example, yeah, many people here, for example, have the habit of smoking cigarettes.
Smoking.
So when you start, then it's not going to be good for your health. Okay,
Absolutely.
or you have the habit of eating much more than you need, and you become overweight.
Yes.
Very common as well. Okay.
Yes.
But also remember, habits are also a way of thinking.
Yes, thinking
So
is very
you,
important.
yeah, you think in the same way, which helps to solve certain problems. But in front of new problems, you think in the same way and you don't solve the problems. Then you're in trouble. Then you don't know how to do because you are thinking the same way, trying to solve a problem in the same manner, the same way that you always analyze problems. And sometimes you need to change that or to have new habits or broaden your habits, you know? So sometimes then habits are not that good, healthy, and habits do not allow you to be creative or to find new ways. Okay, and you don't realize that thinking is a habit too. You have habits within the thinking realm. So that's the negative part. So sometimes when you have to grow, you have to create new habits, learn new habits that are good, are better, healthier, or they solve problems better.
Okay,
And
very good.
one other thing, the other thing that I want to say is that it's more, let's see, it's easier to create a new habit than eliminate an old habit.
Absolutely.
When you have a habit, it's very difficult to get rid of it. That's more difficult than creating a new habit. For that reason, when you grow up and you have to be careful what you are doing, because when you get the habit, it's more difficult to get rid of it. Eliminate the habit. So, and this happens in many situations. For example, you have the habit of I don't know in your language, but to use the same words, same 2 or 3 words all the time. Like in English could be like yes, I'm doing fine.
Okay. We we always call the same word or do the same speak or the same word.
Yeah, and it's very difficult to get rid of that. You see?
I will translate to my own like a little bit. อาจารย์เพิ่นได้ให้ความหมายของคำว่านิสัยก็คือหรือนี่เพิ่นบอกสรุปแล้วคือเพิ่นบอกว่านิสัยก็คือการกระทำของคนเฮาเองคือแบบการกระทำแบบการเว้าการจาการกระทำการเว้าการนึกคิดต่างๆบ่ว่าจะเป็นการเดินนั่งกินนอนหรือว่าเฮ็ดเวียกหรือว่าอะไรก็ตามที่เฮาเฮ็ดเป็นประจำอยู่ตลอดเวลาอย่างเช่นอาหารจะตื่นเช้าตื่นสวยแล้วไปเรียนเฮ็ดนั่นเฮ็ดนี่อันนี้คือว่า habit ก็คือนิสัยของคนเฮาแล้วเพิ่นยังให้ความหมายเพิ่มเติมอีกว่านิสัยของเรามันก็มีนิสัยทางด้านดีและก็บวกฉะนั้นคือเพิ่นบอกว่าการที่เราจะลบล้างหรือว่าเพิ่มนิสัยหรือว่าลบนิสัยที่มันบ่ดีมันก็เป็นเรื่องที่ยากมันก็เป็นเรื่องที่บ่ยากปานใดแต่ว่าการที่เราจะสร้างนิสัยขึ้นมานี่ตินิสัยขึ้นมาใหม่ที่มันดีๆมันเป็นเรื่องที่ยากกว่าฉะนั้นเราจงพยายามแบบว่าเลิกละนิสัยเก่าๆมันจะง่ายกว่าการที่สร้างนิสัยใหม่ๆแต่ว่าทุกอย่างมันก็ต้องใช้เวลาเพิ่นว่าแต่ที่สำคัญก็คือเพิ่นบอกว่านิสัยหรือว่า habit ก็เปรียบเหมือนส่วนหนึ่งของจิตใจของเราคือเป็นภาคส่วนแล้วก็ เป็นพลังงานบางอย่างถ้าเพิ่นบอกว่าถ้าเรามีนิสัยที่ดีชีวิตเราก็จะดีขึ้นการงานก็จะเจริญรุ่งเรืองอนาคตก็จะสดใสตอนนี้เนาะแล้วต่อไปเราจะมาเว้าเกี่ยวกับวิธีการเพิ่มพูนนิสัยให้ตัวเราเองนะว่าเพิ่นจะมีแนวคิดแนวใดฟังรับส่งก็ได้เลยผู้ใดมีหยังก็คอมเมนต์ถามแล้วก็อย่าลืมฝากแล้วก็แชร์ให้ช่วยอาจารย์เลยเด้อ That's very good, yeah. Very good. I think I really like a Chinese proverb like he said like be careful of your thought because your thought will become your word. Be careful of your word because your word will become your action. Be careful of your action because your action will become your habits. And be careful of your habit because your habit will control your destiny. I really like it.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. It's
Wow.
yeah, it's very true. Yeah.
Yes.
Habits are very strong.
Yes.
And
It's
so
very
we have,
true. When I read it, I shocked. Wow. And it's like something is make me like oh, very good.
yeah, for example, if you want to learn a second language, English, and
Mhm.
you are just starting, well, the best thing to do is to study English a little bit, but constantly. Hopefully
Yes.
every day,
Like
even a little bit.
continually.
Yeah,
Every
constantly,
single.
then you can progress. Also, some Chinese sentence says, long trips starts with the first step.
Yes, absolutely. And Rome did not build only one day. I
That's
get it.
good.
I get it.
That's right.
Yeah, very,
Like
very
this is
good.
great. I'm talking about some Chinese others, and you're talking about Western. That's great.
We have to share like you are Western, you have to learn Asia. I'm Asia, I have to learn Western culture. I like it. We can share that.
Uh, that's
It's
very
really good.
good.
Ah, okay.
Okay,
Continue our
so
topic now.
to install a habit, is good, but
Yeah.
probably people will find some difficulties.
Mm,
I have to study English, but I have to do this other thing, or I have to do exercise, or I have to meditate. So um, it's difficult to install a habit,
mm,
a new habit. Okay,
yes.
that's the most difficult part. But when you install the habit, it's easier. It's part of your life. Okay, you study every day 30 minutes. But it's difficult. It's difficult. So, in order to start a habit, to start with a new habit, you have to arrange your time,
Mm-hmm.
arrange your environment,
You seem like
and to
manage your schedule, manage your time, like what you really want to do. Is hour, is minute, in this time plan, like
yeah,
set your. Okay.
and put your new habit starting, for example, in a place in your agenda that it does not compete with other activities.
Mm.
For example, don't put your new habit in a time where your friends are going to call you.
Absolutely, because I think something that you think you don't have to talk it to other people or your friend, you just keep on your mind, just do it. When you succeed it, okay, you can tell them. But if you don't know anything, you told them, they're gonna have to say like, "Are you crazy? You cannot do
Yeah.
that." Like this, but I think, and you're gonna lose your incorrect, and you don't feel like, "Oh, I cannot do that."
But that makes things more difficult. The habit is
Yes,
difficult.
like this.
But then if you try to put it in maybe there's no competition with other activities.
Mhm.
Okay. Also, remind yourself that you have to
Mm,
go, at this time I have to sit and study. So
mm.
how you remind yourself? For example, write a note. Remember to study
Yes,
at
take a
8 p.m.
note.
and put it in your bathroom, or in front of or by your bedroom, So you're doing anything. Oh, I have to study. That's right. During the day, you remember 2 or 3 times your mind that you have to study at 8 p.m. for example.
Absolutely.
So
Okay,
you are your
I
brain.
read to ask like a very easy question. I think most people they are facing about this problem because it seems like how to like wake up early in the morning and to go to school, because some people like, oh, it's the great time to sleep, and I really want to get up right now. It's the time is not time to go to school now and start on the bed all day. When you wake up, it's late already. So do you have any idea how to like solve this very broad habit, like how to get up morning or wake up in the morning early?
Well, you know, sometimes you have to play or to work with your mind. Your
Mm-hmm.
mind is preferred to stay, you know, at the bed and sleep longer.
Mm.
And so you have to play with your mind and say, okay, mind, if you allow me, you know, to arrive to school early, I will give you a prize.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I'm going to eat a piece of chocolate, I don't know, or my favorite fruit, or I'm going to allow myself to call all friends
Mm.
after school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you set prices for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and the mind will wake you up. But if you don't help me, mind, you know, I will not allow to call my friends for 3 days
Mm.
or the
It's like
following day.
it's mean like you have to make rule for yourself.
Yeah, it's like training yourself, but training your
Mm.
mind
Mm.
by prices and retrieving something that the mind likes, like talking
Mm.
to your friends. So if you don't wake up and don't arrive early to your school, tonight I'm not going to talk to my friends. I'm not going to call them. So you don't do it. You have to be strong. And then
Yeah.
your mind is going to remember that, oh, I have to wake up early. I have to wake up early. So you have to tweak your mind in order to create habits or break habits. These are tricks, you know, you tweak your mind. That's one example of doing it.
For me, I just set an alarm every day, like 5 a.m. in the morning,
Boy, you use technology.
because sometimes I study very hard and did a lot of homework, and I really want to take a rest, to sleep a long hour, and set
That's
an
true.
alarm.
But also, sometimes in order to wake up early, you just need to sleep more. So
Absolutely,
sometimes you are,
yes,
you
that's
know,
correct.
sometimes you are taking hours to the night and you do more things, you know, then your body needs more sleeping. So also, you don't have to fight against your body who need more sleeping sometimes.
Yes,
But I understand that because I do the same, you know. I want to do this, I do that. Oh, sleeping is like sometimes, well, before I thought sleeping is like losing time, you know.
absolutely, it's very.
But you need to rest a certain number of hours. So you have to. Sometimes the habit is not only to wake up early. The habit is to go to bed earlier.
Or Steve Jobs said like the people who wake up early can do a lot of things than the people who wake up late. I think it's correctly.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a
In
big.
English, there's an English saying. It says, "The early bird takes the worm."
Mm.
The early bird takes the worm. So
Ah,
who is earlier get the prize. You
yes.
know.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, that's correct. Yes.
it's true
But
because you can do more things in the day.
you wake up early, you can read a book in the morning, and read a book in the morning is very bad time to learn anything else, because your brain is charged fully, is already to learn anything else, and you can learn very faster than all the time. Well, because in the morning the time it is very quiet and is not
Yeah.
noisy, and the weather is very good too.
Yeah, yeah. Your mind is more fresh if you
Yes,
have
my
slept
friend.
well. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, you know, some people can work well at night.
Mm.
We call it the owls.
Hmm.
You know, the owl is the bird with the big eye. The owl.
Yes. Oh,
Some
hour.
people, yeah, owl. some people,
I'm gonna be owl right now.
Yeah, the sign of the owl. So they stay up to very late at night, and they can read and work and so on. But other people cannot really fall asleep, but they
Yes.
are able to wake up very early. Um, so always people say that two type of people, and that two birds, the owl and the other one I cannot remember what's the name. Those people who can, wake up very early and other people, it's very difficult to wake up. It takes longer, more time to really be awake in the morning. I am that type of people. I am an owl.
I'm going to translate in Lao like a little bit คอยได้ถามอาจารย์ผมบอกว่าเขาจะเห็นอันใดที่จะเป็นคนตื่นเศร้าใดเนาะเพราะว่าบางส่วนหลายคนเขาแบบจะตื่นเศร้าก็เขาได้เพราะว่ามันจะเวลาเขาตั้งโมงปุ๊บเขาก็อยากไว้เขาจะอาจจะตื่น6 โมงเช้าแต่สุดท้ายเขาก็ตื่นประมาณ7-8 โมงย้อนหยังเพราะว่าเขายังอยากนอนต่อมันก็กำลังดีกำลังหลับยาวขนาดแต่ว่าอาจารย์บอกว่ามันก็แต่ว่าถ้าเราอยากตื่นไวเราก็ต้องพยายามแบบเข้านอนไวเนาะแล้วก็พยายามนอนไวแล้วก็พยายามแบบบอกเจ้าของว่าเขาต้องตื่นแต่เช้าพยายามเพราะว่าผมบอกว่าตอนที่เขาจะนอนใต้สมองของเขามันจะเปิดแล้วเขาก็พยายามป้อนข้อมูลดีๆแล้วมันจะจำแล้วเขาก็จะตื่นเช้าขึ้นมาแล้วยังเพิ่นยังบอกว่าคำศักดิ์สิทธิ์อังกฤษเพิ่นบอกว่าใครที่ตื่นเช้าจะสามารถเฮ็ดเฮ็ดหยังได้ดีแล้วก็หลายกว่าคนที่ตื่นสายเพราะว่าเฮาตื่นเช้าปุ๊บเราสามารถเฮ็ดเวียกได้หลายอย่างทุกอย่างที่เราเฮ็ดได้ว่าข้อดีของการตื่นเช้าคือเราแบบสามารถเฮ็ดรู้ได้ดีเฮ็ดรู้ไวกว่าเวลาปกติว่าในตอนเช้าสมองเรามันจะปลอดโปร่งแล้วก็มันจะเคลียร์นะ so how do you think about we just talk about the power of thought and the power of action can't you add or explain more about the action the meaning this is very important like because I think action is mean like our character our is a control everything for our habits our mind
Action, you mean?
yes
The power of action. Yeah, well, it's the way we build things. We build in our mind or actually in the world. Is by acting, by doing things. Well, we human beings. Some people said we are Homo faber. That is Latin. Homo faber is the man is a species that works, that work and build things. We're able to build. So our action in the world is very powerful, and our action with ourselves can take us very far in constructing things or putting ourselves in learning, for example. So to do things, we are able to do things, and by doing things, we are going to build either things or in your mind, knowledge, for example, or actually buildings or routes and so on and so forth. We have the power of doing that. We power in our mind, but also in our hands. We are able to build things because we have a thumb.
Yes.
So we can grasp things. So this is very useful. Many animals cannot grasp anything.
Last 2 weeks ago, I bought a lot of books from the bookshop about like I love to read about like how to change yourself to another person and the book like how to develop yourself and thinking positive life and about the famous people in the world who successful in their life or another one is like the powerful person in this world like Mahatma Gandhi or Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, and just read about their stories because when I read those books, it's gonna make me have a lot of like passion to learn to study and a lot of idea from those people. I think it's mean a little bit about the habit action too because I really want to like change myself to be a good action like make a new habit to read a lot of book. that.
Yeah, because that motivates you. That is motivation,
Yes,
you know.
motivation.
But it gives you those examples. Those are examples. It's good to know examples of other people in books, or even some of your relatives or friends. You know, to know how they reach what they wanted, the goals that they set up. So you know, if you say, well, what I want to do, where I want to be in 10 more years.
How should I do?
Yeah. So where I want to be, how should I be in 10 more years?
Mm-hmm.
What situation and what condition I would like to be in
Mm-hmm.
10 more years? You know, then you ask, well, what I need to do in order to reach that goal?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, before that, you better ask, is that goal reasonable? Yeah, or it's just a dream, you know? No, it's reasonable in real life. You know, you want to get into the university and
Mm-hmm.
study English like
Mm-hmm.
Lucky. You know, what do you need to do? Well, you need to have good grades. You need, you know, what? Then
Want
what
to
is the behavior or the habits that you need
know
now?
basically about English.
You see, then because you have to connect the goal with the habits, with the behavior today, what you need to
Mm.
build in order to reach to, you know, set up the way into that direction.
Just make a just plan like a for 1 month or what do you really want to do in 3 months, 4 months, next year, 5 year on the future.
Yeah. So you have to think not only in dreaming what you want, but then you have to say what you need to do now in order to walk in that direction, in order to be able to reach, to improve the possibilities to get what you want. And
Uh,
usually, you know, the best goals are education for me.
mm, I think our habits, our action, or our character, it is very important for us because it seems like if you really want to apply for a job in some company, they gonna to check about your action, your character, your habit, like a who you are, what like it's very
Uh-huh.
important. If you have a good or action or character, they gonna accept you because you have like perspective from other people. I think if you have not good, it's gonna very bad for you. I think it's correctly. I think.
Yeah, that is the difference, you know, with some people. Some people, you know, in order to get some goals, need to do things now,
Mm-hmm.
but also not to do things now. For
Mm.
example, I would like to see my friends, I don't know, 6 times a week. But
Mm-hmm.
if I want a goal, I should see them only 4 times a week. Okay?
Mm.
So you have to delay the pleasure of being with your friends now in
Mm-hmm.
order to reach that goal. But some
Yes.
people, for them, it's very difficult. They prefer the pleasure now. So they prefer
Uh-huh.
to see their friends, as an example only, you know, but 6, 7 times, and not to study for that far away goal. Uh, so that's the main difference, you know. Some people prefer the right now pleasure, and other people can delay the pleasure and work for future pleasure, the pleasure of studying or getting a degree, for example. That is
Absolutely.
future. So in order to reach that goal, you have to work hard today. So not much pleasure, you know. But you have to be able to stand and uh, to think in that future goal, future pleasure, and less pleasure today. Uh, but other people prefer goes the other way around. Oh no
Okay.
no.
For example, many people they are like really want to lose their weight because they are really fat, but they just really want, but they do it when they go to the gym. Okay, it's perfect. They go to the gym, but when they train it, they feel like oh already become retarded and they stop it. and the next week they stop, and the next week they just went back to the gym again. But the problem is their weight is still there. It doesn't load. How do you think about it? What they should do?
Yeah, well, also there are two reasons. I mean, two things. One is to think always in the future pleasure. If you are thinner, you will feel better. But also, you have to think that the reason why you want to do that. That's important to have a good reason. If reason is strong, it will be easier. Sometimes are not as strong. Why you want to lose weight? Oh, I want to look more attractive. You know?
I want to look good.
To look
I want
good.
to have a
Yeah,
good health.
sounds very good. But when you are doing the exercise and waking up early and go running and suffering, you know, I say, oh, there's too much suffering. I'm fine. It's not a problem, you know, because the reason to look good is not that strong. If the reason is, well, you have to be healthier or you are going to have a heart attack, then it's a strong reason you do it, you know. So many times we do things, but not with very good reason. Not very strong reason. Or sometimes it's a dream. You know, I want to be, I don't know, NASA engineer. You know, I want to help people to get into Mars. But in order to do that, you have to study tremendously. You have to dedicate your life in order to be able to advance. You know, it's a dream, and if you don't have the tools or the conditions, the suffering is too much. You know, it's too much time invested, and you are not having a happy life. So the reason got to be reasonable. You know, sometimes people want things but quit because the goal they set is too high. It's a dream. So it's easier if it's something that is reachable.
I think many people they really want to lose their weight, but they just like a tone themselves like they have to log 1 week for 20 pounds. Like it is very much. I think that they have to lose the step by step. Okay, 1 3 week for 5 pounds like this. I think it's okay. When they cannot do like that, they just feel like a very lost and do not want to do it again because it is very hard. And they just compare themselves to other people like this. Like why they look good, but why I'm not that? I'm look bad. I'm very fat. Like they gonna like themselves.
Yeah. So usually you also set up few goals.
Yes.
Not many, because you know. So focus your energy in few things, and try to learn. And also, for example, learning or doing things when you're focused and you are approaching your goal, you feel better. You are getting something. Oh, you are seeing that you are able to change, and that is very satisfactory, and that helps. But you have to reach that point where you are able to feel a little success. That will help you to install the habit and keep it. You know, sometimes you have to put too much work in order to feel a little success. Then it's more difficult to install a habit in that way. So motivation also is important. So just try to do what you really feel is good for you and really you want, and why you want. How do you project yourself having that you want in 10 more years? How you are going to be in 10 more years if you reach that goal? Oh, okay. So that is motivation. So you have to think of that when you are installing the habit.
Okay, I think that the time is gone now. Midnight for me. Can you submit or sub up the whole that we gonna be talk about how to become a new person to change our habit, just make it easy to understand.
Okay, so in summary, we have to be aware that our mind is built in habits. Habits, a way of thinking, way of doing, way of feeling. Okay,
Yes.
this saves energy and it's good, but some habits are not very healthy. You know, we can have lazy habits. Okay, so be careful. The way we think is also a habit, so we can change the way of thinking. In order to stall a habit, you have to help your mind, because it's to start the habit, which is not easy. So remind yourself, write notes, what is your goal, what you have to do. Select a time in your agenda, where to perform that new habit, and a time that is not competing with other important things or important for you. Because it's more difficult to get rid of an old habit than install a new habit. So please think well in what habits are you going to install in your mind.
It's mean you have believe yourself. If other people can do that, can change themselves, you can do like them. You are human being, they are human being. They have eye, they have ear, they have mouth. You have the same like them. You can do it, and don't compare yourself to other people, because be yourself. And if you really want to change yourself, just make it or do it again and again, continually. It seems Rome cannot build only one day. It have to take a month, a year, like this.
Yeah, we agree.
Yes.
So I hope this is going to be enjoyable, helpful for some of our audience, our friends who are watching us.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much for your joy to talk with me. Okay. I wish you have a good day, have a nice day, and take care of yourself, and don't get anywhere. Just stay at your home, yeah, because I really don't want to I get infected from the COVID-19 like this. But now
Yeah,
stay
yeah.
at home, not to be when I heard that. Take care of
Okay,
yourself.
you have a good night. Have sweet dreams. It was very nice talking to
Bye
you.
bye. Bye.
Bye
I
bye.
wish the Dharma take care of you. Okay. Bye bye.
Thank you.
And don't forget to practice meditate.
Yeah, I will not.